Memories are our most precious resource. The knowledge contained within those intangible filaments of grey matter in our brains has enabled our species to rise above all others, to create sophisticated civilizations and even explore beyond the realms of our own terrestrial environment. But one thing that humanity has understood from the earliest incarnations of society is that the knowledge encoded in our memories is transient, and that for it to be retained, it must be recorded. From the cave paintings of Paleolithic times to the great libraries of the modern era, humans have sought to document their memories so that all future society can benefit from the collective experience. But what information does society recall? In the past, we trusted learned scholars to chronicle our narrative. But as we've subsequently discovered, history recorded this way can be tainted by opinion, or, more sinisterly, by direction and by design. The internet, and more recently the cloud, have democratized the gathering, the retention and the distribution of knowledge, and yet there are still gaps. Even the most open source repositories have limited capacity, meaning some stories deemed insufficiently substantive inevitably slip through the net and can be lost forever. And who determines which stories should be retained? Do we risk making the same mistake of previous generations, where the stories recorded were those belonging to the few who could afford to employ the handful of literate scribes? Do we limit the retention to good stories, and who determines what those criteria should be? Any tale that resonates with an audience of any size should surely be considered a good story, and if that audience is limited to members of the family to whom it belongs, does that make it any less worthwhile than one shared with a multitude? At Your Family Story, we think every story is deserving of preserving. Our mission is to create a unique digital time capsule that captures your family stories in a way that will entertain for years to come. Imagine future generations a century from now having the opportunity to see and hear their family history told by the very people who lived and breathed it. Your family photo albums are full of fabulous memories, but without understanding the stories of the people and places depicted in the images, they're just a nostalgic peek into a sepia-tinged past. We want to change all that. We mix contemporary imagery from your family archives and footage of your heirlooms with our in-depth interviews to create an absorbing narrative that will delight viewers now and into the future. The global pandemic has reminded us all of the importance of family connections, but has also demonstrated that our deepest reservoir of memories resides in some of the most vulnerable in our population. We want to ensure your family story is preserved before it could be lost, so call or email us today to make a time for a free consultation. With limited availability remaining for 2022, make sure you inquire as soon as possible. Tomorrow might just be too late.